Hello there, friends. Welcome to the 33rd episode of your favorite podcast in the universe, Nacht Dancing, hosted by Young. This is the 33rd episode, which is significant in, conspiracy circles, because supposedly Jesus died at the age of 33, and then the number 33 is some sort of super Freemason or something like that, and those dudes are the ones in charge of the country, and then they leave these secret hidden messages everywhere with the number 33, and if you see that number in a movie or on money or in a book or something like that, it's they're saying to you, yeah, that's right, we're the ones in charge here, and you're just a pawn in our game. So I guess this is sort of a significant episode. I'm sending you a message that this podcast is controlled by the Freemasons or the Skull and Bone Society or the Zionists or the globalists or whatever, just some shady group of people with lots of power who pull the strings like puppet masters. And the fact that you're listening to this means that you're caught up in this conspiracy web, and the spider's gonna come get you soon and suck all your blood. Just kidding. I just kind of made all that up based on my superficial knowledge of conspiracy theories. But who knows, there could be some truth to it, that there could be a race of aliens among us, What are they, reptilians? They control Congress? I don't know. They tell you what to do with yourself through subliminal messaging. Man, today was when they reversed daylight savings time. Did anyone else notice that? Well, I guess you're listening to this on Thursday, so it happened a few days ago, but it happened on Sunday. It's always kind of hellish when that happens. I guess we gained an hour this time, but I still don't like it. I don't like when they fuck with the time. It kind of throws you off. Can't they just keep it the same time year round? No, it's not like we're actually saving any daylight, are we? We're not saving daylight, we're shifting the clocks. The daylight is staying the same. We're just messing with our sleep schedules, seems like. I think Benjamin Franklin invented this, so we got that asshole to thank for it. I mean, fuck that guy. He was pretty much a dipshit and a moron. Pretty much had a platform just because he was a loudmouth. People gave him credit because, I don't know, they thought he was important or that he knew shit, but he didn't really. He just made up a bunch of weird stuff and then made some sort of convincing argument for it, and then people went with it. But I think this daylight savings nonsense has gone on long enough, and we should put it to bed, just like Benjamin Franklin has been put to bed. Because he was a incompetent fucking imbecile. He wasn't really a founding father, he was more like a fuck-up father. That's what they should be called. The fuck-up fathers. Because they're just a bunch of fuck-ups, basically. Who fucked everything up like the time. I don't like having to wake up in March and then suddenly it's an hour later, and then wake up in November and suddenly it's an hour earlier. And I have to set all my clocks too. I think that a lot of, stuff goes awry during these days because people forget about the time change and they think, oh shit, I'm late to work. And then they rush off to work and they're an hour early. But they think, oh, I still got an hour. So they take their sweet ass time and get to work an hour late. Freaking Benjamin Franklin again. Strikes again, right? That idiot. We should dig up his grave and desecrate it. That would be a good Freemason ritual to do, actually. Maybe that would reverse, the daylight savings time nonsense that happens. And maybe that would reverberate to all the, Freemasons and reptilians and stuff. And it would like undo their powers. It would negate their powers. I bet that's where their powers come from, is daylight savings time. That's why they keep doing it even though it doesn't make sense. Those are like the days of the year where they do some sort of secret, like, I don't know, what would it be, like an occult ritual? They probably sacrifice like baby lambs or something and then drink their blood. So we gotta get rid of this. And it starts with finding where Benjamin Franklin is buried and then, I don't know, maybe we should give him a proper burial. Maybe we shouldn't desecrate his corpse, because that would be bad too, right? Maybe what he needs is just a proper burial and a ceremony, so he could rest in peace. Because right now, he's resting in piss, as they say, because of his daylight saving stuff. People go and pee on his grave all the time. They're like, man, Benjamin Franklin was an idiot, and they go to his grave and pee on it. So, like, into his casket, there's just, like, pee constantly dripping into it as it soaks through. And we don't want that at all. It's really... He can't rest in peace that way. And he can't rest in peace either because of daylight savings time, which he invented. Like, he's trying to go to bed and then the time keeps changing on him, Have you ever heard the expression, don't get your panties in a bunch? Isn't it kind of weird that someone must have been picturing some really big, like, grandma panties when they thought of that? Because most panties, like, they don't really have that much material, right? It would be really hard to get them bunched up. Like, I can understand how you can get boxers bunched up, because they're kind of like just mini shorts, basically. Or, like, maybe even boxer briefs. But panties are generally... I don't know, they don't have much material where it's like... It would be really weird if they got bunched up. I mean, how would that happen? It seems almost impossible. I mean, I guess you could get like a wedgie, but that's not really the same thing as bunched up. I mean, you could get a wedgie from any kind of underwear, even like, boxers. If things go wrong, like, your boxers can even ride up your butt crack. I don't think that's the meaning of bunched up. I think bunched up means more like the fabric is like supposed to be hanging down, but then it rides up and it gets all bunched up like in a bundle or a bunch. And it gets uncomfortable for that reason, but I don't know. If you just think about the way most panties look, they don't really get bunched. So whoever thought of that, he was probably thinking about his grandma's panties, right? What a sicko. He was like, hey, don't get your panties in a bunch. And people were probably like, what is this guy talking about? And he probably thought it was really funny because he was thinking of his grandma's panties for some reason, which is really messed up. Have you ever noticed that coffee makes you pee a lot? I mean, I don't think there's any other beverage that makes you pee as much as coffee. Oh, maybe alcohol, actually. Alcohol and coffee, I guess they're both diuretics, right? Is that correct? So they make you pee a lot? That must be that must be the reason. But it's like, if you drink coffee and alcohol, there's going to be, like in the morning, you're going to drink some coffee and then you're going to be peeing like crazy. And then if you drink alcohol at night, you're going to be peeing like crazy from that. Do people who drink those substances, do they like peeing? Is that like a weird fetish they have? I think that must be the reason why people do drink those two things. Because they like the sensation of urinating. So when people say they have a coffee habit, what they really have is a urine habit. They like to go in the bathroom and pee for like a minute straight. They like the feeling of the pee coming out. That's really twisted if you think about it. And alcoholics, I guess being drunk is part of the fun, but the thing that they really want to do is pee a lot. And that's why they drink so much. So if you ever see, your drunk uncle, he's like, "Oh, I really love whiskey, man. It's delicious." What he really likes is going to the bathroom and peeing. I hope he wipes the toilet rim when he's done, because if you drink alcohol, it really makes you pee a lot. So I hope your alcoholic uncle is socially responsible and wipes up after himself. Because you don't want to be hanging out with his dried urine. It's disgusting. Anyway, just wanted to say, screw daylight savings time. That was pretty much the point of this podcast. And also, in order to get rid of it, we have to make sure that we get Benjamin Franklin moved to a proper place of rest so people stop peeing on him. And the way to do that is by reversing daylight savings time so that we don't have to deal with this twice a year. And thank you for all agreeing with me about that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 33rd non-conspiratorial episode of Mouth Dancing with your host, Young. Thank you, and see you next time. Toodaloo!